Beloved, welcome back to the shop. It is Wednesday morning, a very chilly 34 degrees and pouring down rain outside. What a wonderful day to be in the shop. Goodness, you poor thing, are you waiting for the wood stove? I come in the morning and she's always under here because it's warm. The concrete slab, even right now, I can feel it's warm, so that's where she hangs out. We'll get you a fire going, come on. We gotta split some firewood. I gotta get my sissy mittens on. My hands have gotten soft over the winter. My hands get really calloused from riding moto and, you know, working outside, but I don't do that so much in the winter time. Of course, when you're splitting your kindling, you're always looking for a straight grain, meaning something with no limbs or knots in it. Like that wouldn't be a good piece there. This is not a good piece there. You see it's got a knot in it. It's like a piece of rebar that reinforces it. This is good. This is good. This is real good. My firewood's holding up pretty good. I put up about 6 cords this year, and we'll probably have a cord left over. I would imagine between the shop and the house and the tent, we go through about 5 to 6 cords. I guess if we have a cold spring, maybe I'll burn all 6. Be careful with these kindling crackers. I had a few guys tell me that they bought one on Amazon, eBay, and there's a lot of fakes. You only want the original one. You gotta make sure that it's called the kindling cracker. It's made much superior. Now there's a big one and a little one. I've had both, and the big one that's the one you want. One of the guys was asking about this stove in the comments. This is made by Hearthstone. It's a Green Mountain 80. It was, at the time, it was the biggest stove that they made. And it's a hybrid stove. So it's a catalytic stove, which means it's got a catalytic converter in it that burns the wood really efficiently, but it also has a bypass. So you don't have to use it. So you get the best of both worlds. The downside with these is that they're not for burning trash. You can't burn like colored paper or cardboard, anything with glue in it. It's just for wood, and you have to burn wood that's really dry. Provided you burn dry wood, it's super efficient. It'll heat about 5,000 feet, and it's a cast iron, but soapstone lined. And soapstone is just magic. It has the ability to hold heat and coldness, and it gives you a very even, warm heat that just radiates. It's very nice. Once you have a soapstone stove, it's hard to go back. And of course, Proho likes the top-down method, just the opposite of what you were probably taught. Me too. Put your big pieces on the bottom, put your kindling stack on the top. That way the coals, they sift and they filter down, and then they start the logs on fire. This way you can light it and forget it. You could set it like this and come back 3 hours, and you don't have to keep, fussing with it and come back because your kindling's all gone. Oh, am I in trouble? Sorry. Today we're going to be attempting something that I have never done before. This is one of those jobs that on paper should take about 15 minutes or so, and then you go on YouTube and you watch some dudes struggle, and it turns into the devil's work of 4 or 5 hours of misery. Hopefully, I've learned something, and we're not going to go through that, but we're going to be replacing this awesome silicone Samco hose, which is race-proven and much more durable than the factory one, which has a tendency to crack. So getting this out actually requires a special tool. I didn't have this tool. I ordered it. It was $19. Kind of a bummer buying tools that you're only going to use once. I might use it again, but you can see this is got the 3 grooves cut in it, which fit that T-post. Let me show you. The factory radiator T-line is up inside the frame. It looks similar to this, but apparently this tool fits, right? It's supposed to fit in there, and then we'll put a 13 millimeter wrench on there and twist that out. But we'll have to pull all this stuff apart first and jam a screwdriver in there so we can stiffen it up so it doesn't just flex. Let's get our tools out and we'll get started. Of course, we'll go to the beloved panel tool. The first video I ever made on YouTube was on this tool. I loved it so much. These rubber boots are supposed to pry off. I don't know if there's clamps in there. Well, something came loose. Oh, the other one came off. Oh no, it just popped through. Okay, so it's got metal bands on there. I guess I don't need to save this. It's just going to be thrown away. Maybe I could just pop it off. There we go. You ready for some more firewood, Mama? Yeah? Get you sorted out here. We're going to need a big sturdy screwdriver to run through that T-line. Something that's not going to bend long enough. Probably this one might fit. We got to keep this guy from twisting. Actually, that guy's too big right there. Oh, fun fact. If you want to get a Snap-on, in my opinion, makes the best screwdrivers in the world, but goodness, they're expensive. They have their industrial brand, Williams. You get the exact same screwdriver. This is Williams, and this is Snap-on. But you can get these in a set for like less than $70. I'll put a link in the description. I'll pin it to the comment. But if you're looking for your good basic starter set, you basically get Snap-on for like less than half the price. Boy, even the number 2 is too small. Let's go for my ice pick there. That go through there? Yeah. Barely. Okay, that'll keep that from spinning because we're going to be putting a bunch of torque on that bottom piece. We want to give ourselves every chance of success. This down tube is aluminum and it's bound together with some sort of a glue. So if we put some heat on it, maybe that might kind of help loosen up the glue. I got that cordless Milwaukee heat gun. I use this thing. It's one of my most used tools. This has been a real awesome tool. The downside of this is it goes through batteries pretty quickly, but if I'm usually just using it for one thing, I'll grab it to take a sticker off or to heat something up, so it's not a problem. If you're going to be needing it for like long durations, you'd want to get something corded, but have the big batteries and it's super good. We'll get this good and hot to help break up that glue. You can see the joint there where it's threaded in. It's just like a pipe threading, what I've been told. We're going to need a box end wrench for the special tool. What's that, 15, 13? Of course, I have to use the hateful metric system. Most complicated measuring system in the world. Can you imagine what such foolishness? What happens next is going to determine whether this is a 8-minute video versus a 17-minute video, because this could get ugly. All right, that is good and hot. Oh, here we go. Hopefully that breaks loose, righty-tighty, lefty-loose, and it doesn't give us any trouble. All right, here we go, gentlemen. Oh, we got lucky. Praise God for that. Well, I saw what happens if that tool strips out. Oh yes, it's coming right up. It's stiff. The heat is the name of the game, gentlemen. You know, I'm going to get a ratchet. This is inconvenient here. On motorcycles, I like to use 1/4-inch drive stuff. It just fits in tight areas so much better. And what am I doing here? When you're building your set, you start with a 3/8. So there's 3/8, 1/4, and half. So think of it as medium, small, and big. Start with 3/8. If you're working on small things, go 1/4 for your next set, and then half for bigger stuff. If you have big trucks and you don't do motorcycles and small things, go 3/8, and then your 1/2-inch drive stuff. I'm very happy that's coming out. That could be a real bugbear. I'll show you the differences between the two. Also, I told you that in my opinion, the older bikes are better than the new bikes when it comes down to simplicity and reliability. And this is a perfect example. Even this one here, which was built in 2017, this is an all metal part. It's aluminum. The new ones are plastic, and that's really bad because any side impact from the radiators, meaning if you drop the thing down, it's going to transfer that force and it's going to break this. These are notorious for breaking, and once it breaks inside the frame, that's not something you're going to fix on the field, and that's catastrophic. The other thing is that, look, I'm going to show you the flow difference. Check this out, the factory piece. Can you see how tight, what a bottleneck that is in there compared to this? I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not, but it's tremendous. Let me get a light. I want you to see this. So here's the factory. Look at how small that opening is compared to the Samco. Oh, angle. Oh, there you go. See how big that is? And look how small that is. That's remarkable. Heat is the biggest enemy to anything you have, to your truck, to your transmission. You get things hot, and that's where you really start to tear stuff up and break it. And anytime you can let an engine breathe and get good cooling and everything flowing freely by eliminating anything that is a bottleneck like that, to me, that's money well spent. This is $100 for this hose, $90 or so, which is expensive. But when you think of all the things you get now, if you drop it, it's never going to break, it's not going to crush, it's not going to break on you in the field, you've got less joints to leak, and just an overall whole lot better system or part. Just a major upgrade in my opinion. Getting this wide T in that small opening is going to be problematic. I think, why don't we put a zip tie through here and collapse it like this, make it smaller, maybe we can tie it back and then it'll slide in there, we can cut it. The key to having an organized shop, gentlemen, is clean as you go, just like a pro. I learned that from Mrs. W. That's her philosophy for her kitchen. We need some cutters. Let's put a little silicone spray on there and help it to slide in there and waterproof it a little bit. Make it easier also for our hose to slip on there. Goodness, that's a pretty small fit there. It's definitely not going in that way. Is it? Let's see. Maybe it will go. Maybe doing the zip tie was exactly what we don't want to do. It might, I don't know what I thought I was going to go in through the bottom, but I think that maybe this is going to be a better way to finesse it. Yeah. All right. So don't do the zip tie. There we go. Excellent. Man, I've wanted to do that for a long time. I'm glad it went so well. Here's the factory pieces, the way they're laid out. So a lot of connections, a lot of failure points. And this is brittle. That could have got damaged, and just a big upgrade all around, I think. I am very happy with that. I don't know how that could have went any better. Next time, we'll be doing another thing I've never done before and driving the bearing races out and completely replacing the steering tube bearings and races with the beautiful X-Trig, and we'll install that together as well. I want to take a moment to thank all of you for your continued support of the channel. Spending time in Europe and seeing the way different people live and such has really given me an appreciation for how blessed we are to live in this country. A lot of you in the comments thought that I was hating on America, and that's not the case at all. My concern with comments like that is that many of you, I don't know if you don't retain the ability to critically think, or you're unable to look at your surroundings and to make a judgment and to go past the rhetoric. You know, the filthy government that is destroying our country, that's what they rely upon, is blind patriotism, of you just always supporting the troops, always supporting the cops, always supporting America, regardless of what's happening, even though your whole country is burning down around you. I'm not saying that I don't love America. The American people are the greatest people in the world, the most giving, the most generous, the most capable, in my opinion. Don't confuse, and this is for outsiders, don't confuse what you're seeing in the media and what our government is doing and what the corrupt corporations are doing. Don't confuse the American people with those crooks and those criminals. Because if you were to come here and to hang out with the boys and the war band, and you would find we would have so much in common. But just don't blindly think that everything is bad and everything is okay when everything's not okay here. It's the situation is getting desperate. And I really, I'm sympathetic to that. I understand what a privileged position I'm in. And by and large, that's because you guys continue to watch and support my channel. And I don't take that for granted. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. A sincere thank you. If you haven't already, click that thumbs up. Please keep us in your prayers, my family in your prayers. We will be praying for you. And may God bless all of you. We'll see you guys on the next video.